All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's check out this new video that's out on Richard Allen being questioned. Now let's listen to his voice. We should be able to see if there's a comparison. Folks, make sure you check out Crime Circus Cult. I went ahead and put his link in my description and chat.
This is a property record and receipt. So this it's going to read kind of funny, but you'll see. So we seal everything. So seal paper bag containing one pair of dirty Thor good boots, size 7.5 men's, and then on down. So we took the clothing that you had mentioned that you possibly could have been wearing the day you're on the bridge, and then we also took some knives.
Okay.
We took your car, and then we also took some weapon, a SIG 40, right?
Okay.
Right there. I used to be a Beretta guy. I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Shot the Berettas. And then when I first got on the state police, we had Berettas as well. And then we went to Glocks for a little bit.
Sure.
And then we went to SIGs.
I was trying to think of what we even had. I think the Berettas were probably coming out before I got out. Because they used to have the old 45s.
Beretta?
No, they were
Springfield.
I have no idea, honestly. They were the government issued 45s. Yeah.
Yeah, we had I think there were 40 Berettas. And I think when I came on in 2001 in the state police, we had Berettas, but we went to Glocks, not a huge fan of Glocks, but SIGs.
Mm-hmm.
If I could build an indoor range and afford the ammo, I'd shoot that thing every day.
Yeah.
You shoot yours?
I've not had a lot of experience, no.
No.
I mean, target practice here and there. It's probably been, I don't even remember. I haven't shot them in a long time. I know that.
Do they have like an indoor range in Delphi?
No, not that I know of. Honestly, I don't even know where. I haven't looked. There used to be one in Kokomo. That's the only thing I know.
Where you
That's where I.
All right. Wow, I guess there is a composure that he's keeping right now. He don't seem too nervous right now, if you ask me. Not at all. Right? Now his voice being a match with Bridge Guy, I'm not sure about that yet. Let's continue to listen a little bit more.
Yeah, and you live in town, so you can't go out your back door and shoot it.
No, I probably could. Probably wouldn't be a good idea, but.
I live out in the country, so I know my closest neighbor's like 2 miles away, so I shoot mine out there. I got like a ditch. I don't have an indoor range, but I have like a ditch I can shoot and stuff like that. So, like I said, these are the items that we took. These are the items that we're testing. Some tests take longer than others, as you know. So the lab wants me to ask a few questions just about to help us with the testing, and you'll understand when I ask you.
Okay.
So, for example, they took a lot of swabs. They're taking swabs off of everything.
Okay.
So what they want to know is, have you ever loaned anything out that we've taken? And again, I just told you what we took. I realized that, but mostly some of the major items that, have you ever loaned them out for a significant time? Because if, for example, my buddy's fuel pump went out in his truck, he said, "Hey, can I borrow your old truck?" And I said, "Yeah." He said it's going to be 2 weeks, ended up being 5 or 6 months. That would be a significant time frame. That my buddy's DNA would be in that truck.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've loaned out for besides your family members? We don't care about your wife's
Not
DNA.
that I can think of.
You never loaned the truck out, or your sorry, it's a Ford Focus. Is that what it is?
I mean, if I do, I certainly don't remember. Most of my family has vehicles, so extra vehicles.
Yeah. The same thing like my son, he sometimes will come over and leave his coat and I'll wear it for a couple months or something like that.
Okay.
Or my son-in-law, he'll spend money on guns. He's a gun freak. He likes to buy guns, and then he'll be like, "Hey, can I borrow $500?" And then he'll give me one of his guns as collateral. And then when he gets the money back, anything like that you know of? Okay. So I'll let the lab know that. That's one of the big things. And then, like I said, some of the tests are already back. I do want to talk to you about one of the tests that we got the results back. The other thing is, any of these knives or the gun, did you have that the day that you recall having that with you on the day of the 13th when you were out there on the bridge? No. You don't remember if you did or you didn't?
I didn't. I just went out for a short walk that day.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll get to the meat and potatoes of this, Rick.
What I'm doing is
I appreciate you being cooperative with me.
His voice right now, and behind the scenes here, I'm running it against Bridge Guy. So there is a slight comparison with the voice and Bridge Guy's voice. Let's keep listening.
I want to talk about the results of your handgun. Okay.
Okay.
So handguns, as you know, probably, you may know more about them than I do. I don't know a lot, but they're very specific as far as the characteristics of the gun. So the firing pin is different from your firing pin. The extraction device is different from my extraction device. And they're basically what the lab has told me is that they're like fingerprints. They're specific to that gun and that gun only. Okay. So we took your gun, your 40 cal SIG, and we sent it down there to the lab to have it matched with an item that we located on February the 14th when we found the girls.
Okay.
And that item was a 40 caliber Winchester round. We found that at the scene.
Okay.
The extraction marks on that round match your gun.
Okay.
So
this is okay.
Just hear me out. I'm just trying.
I am.
So this is the round. Okay. Those are the extraction marks. That's the best picture of them. There's actually 3 of them. That's the same round that we found. Okay. And like I said, the methodology that they use is scientific, and they were telling me, and this is the report, you can read it if you wish.
I don't need to read it.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to help you. You know, let me tell you something.
Okay.
You know, the prosecutor and the other investigators, they want to see you lock you up, throw away the key. I don't think you're
ridiculous.
Just listen to me for 2 minutes. Let me explain this to you. I'm on your side. I talked to you a little bit out there on the scene. I know you mentioned a couple times you don't want to be the fall guy for this. You also mentioned to me the other day when I was telling you, hey, I want to check the property out, make sure there's no damage. And you said, doesn't matter, it's over. You know, you made comments like that to me that really concerned me.
Sure.
Right. It's concerning.
And what I mean by it's over is that you've already started something here that there's no backing out of. So you've done, the damage is done, I guess is what I'm saying. That's what I would have been referring to.
Okay. And I agree with that. We have started this. We've been working on this for a long time, and all the evidence is clearly indicating you're involved in this.
You know, I don't know, man. I'm listening to Bridge Guy voice or the tape that was put out, and now I'm listening to his voice right now and comparing it. Okay. And there is maybe a slight where it sounds like him, but then as he talks, it don't sound like him. So we're going to continue to listen. Now, folks, make sure you go to Crime Circus channel and check his channel out. A great creator kid. He wears the makeup and everything. He's pretty good at this YouTube stuff and crime cases and stuff. So make sure you check his channel out. Let's keep listening.
Listen to me, Rick. I don't believe you should be the fall guy. But all the evidence, you say you're out there. We have witnesses out there. We have your vehicle. We have experts. We have experts that say that's you on the video and that's your voice on the video.
Okay.
Experts, not me, because I'm not an expert.
I got you.
Okay. And now we have your round at the scene. Okay. Not on the bridge. You said you're on the bridge.
Wait a minute. They didn't have. Why didn't they produce these experts in the court? They didn't hire anybody. They had a FBI guy, or one of their people, or he's not an expert. That's what he testified to, that he's not an expert. He's done it before, but so he wasn't an expert at matching voices or voice comparison. So what experts did they use to come up with that's him on the tape when you can't see it? They must have had clearer footage that they didn't show to say, well, we have experts that say that's you on the bridge, because I can't say that's him on the bridge 100% because of the video is so distorted and everything. It could be anything.
Bridge.
I don't even know how my bullet would have gotten out there if that's my bullet.
It's without a doubt that this is very
okay
scientific. So let me show you a picture of this round where it was found. That's the round right there. It hadn't been out there very long. That is Liberty's foot. It's within 6 inches of one of the dead girl's bodies.
There's no way.
There is.
I'm telling you, there's not.
How did that round get there, Rick?
I don't know how the round got there. What I'm telling you is, if that is truly what you're saying it is, it's not my round.
The scientific experts are saying, I got a report saying that round came from your gun.
Okay, but understand this.
You were on the bridge.
I told you I was on the bridge.
Listen, right now, like I said, I got a prosecutor and investigators ready to lock you up. And if you don't give us a narrative, if you don't tell us your side of the story, there's 2 sides to every story. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you.
I get that.
The media is going to portray you as this monster, and you don't want your wife.
And it's already going to get there anyway. So
yeah. So this is your chance to tell us exactly what happened.
Unlike some people, most people, I care what people think about me, and
you do.
You've already set that ball rolling.
Yeah, but there's only one way to get out in front of it, and that's to tell the truth. What happened that day?
I can't tell you what happened that day.
You can tell us. There's no doubt in my mind that the evidence clearly indicates that you're involved in this. Are you the mastermind behind this? I don't know.
Mastermind, okay.
Did somebody else set this up? I don't know.
And there you go, folks. Now we have evidence that they think there was others involved. You got Holman here saying, were you the mastermind of this? So now we know that they from the beginning, they thought there was others involved. All right, let's continue here. And this is freaky because I'm kind of seeing the vowels. Some of the vowels are there, and then they disappear. It's pretty crazy. I don't know. And then it changes up. His accent disappears and comes back. It's very weird.
Oh, Rick, I want to know, and only you know. The truth will set you free. That's it.
Yeah,
the truth will protect you from the.
Well, that's what I would have thought.
Well, tell the truth. Tell me how this round got next to one of our girls, in between both girls.
I don't know.
You do know. And if you don't tell me, you're going down for this.
Well, okay.
I'm serious. This isn't a joking matter.
I'm not joking.
You're this
Do you
close.
realize what you've done to me? This is like you've talked to the people I work with. You've talked to my neighbors. You know, I've got anxiety. I got all kinds of stress and depression and one of the big things is I'm you cannot even think something about me, but if I think you think something about me, it bothers me. And that's already done because people out there already know that you think I did.
And that's very common. That's very common to think that. He don't want people to think bad about him. There are people in this world that say they can give two craps what people think about them. And then there are people out there that do care about what people think about them. And that is normal, right? That's perfectly normal. Now, in this video, I think he's handling himself very good. Uh, I mean, Holman just came out and said, "You're going to go down from this." And Richard Allen just said, "Well, then, okay, let's do this." Very, very, very. I want to see all the. I want to see all the voice recording and everything of his him behind bars talking to his wife, where he feels more comfortable and he's not being drilled. Right? I'm hearing slight similarities in the voice, but not too much. I mean, his when he first started this, it sounded like he had a little bit of an accent, but that's gone now.
Something.
I don't think,
And I didn't. Okay.
Rick, I don't think that. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved.
Right.
So if you were in my seat and I had you saying you're out there, witnesses saying you're out there at the same time with the girls, and now after a search warrant of your house, we find a gun, your gun. You own that gun, right?
I do.
When did you buy it?
Oh my gosh. I don't even remember. I mean,
2001. I'll check for you. I know a lot of the answers to the question I'm going to ask you, but I'm just trying to give you the opportunity to be honest. Okay. That's why I asked the question. So you bought it in 2001 in Peru.
Okay.
And I asked you if you ever loaned anything out. I gave you scenarios. No. So that's your gun. Either you had that gun or somebody had that gun, because there's no way that round gets on that property where these two girls were killed without that gun being there. And you're there, your car's there, witnesses say
there is no way a round from my gun was anywhere near the girls, the bridge. It just didn't happen.
And listen, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you prove.
No, you're trying to accuse me of murdering two of them. Calm me down. You ask me a few questions. You ask me what I'm wearing, and I tell you what I think I was probably wearing that day, and then you try to say that I'm saying that's me in that picture. And it's not.
You don't have to say that.
I'm done.
Well, I have a warrant for your DNA. For your DNA first. What do you think I have a warrant for? You know, I have a warrant. What?
I figure you're going to arrest me. You obviously think I've done it. The damage is done. Go ahead and do what you're going to do. Well, this doesn't just go away.
I know.
Exactly.
The only person I think can explain all this is you, and you're not explaining it to me.
I don't know what it is you want me to explain.
What were you doing on the bridge? How did your round get there? And why did you kill these two girls? And why were you involved in this? What was your involvement?
I had no involvement.
I don't think, listen, Rick, I don't think you're the one that killed them. I don't think you're the one that stuck the knife in them. Are you?
Are you
that guy?
Really?
Are you?
I'm asking you. Anybody that knows me knows I could never, even if I wanted to do something like that. That's not who I am.
Then what happened?
I can't tell you. How do you expect me to tell you? You want me to make up a story and
No, the truth. The truth is simple. You don't have to make that up. You just go back and tell me the truth. You can't tell me that this event has not been weighing on you for years and years and years. You're out there.
I've told you that. I don't know what you want me to do at this point. I did not murder two little.
Let's go. All right, this is getting interesting. Now, let me go ahead and Let me
Go for a walk.
I can't stand these cars.
Let's go for a ride.
I've been so nice.
All right, here's the thing, folks. It is going to be hard to get an exact 100% comparison. And let me tell you why. Because of the microphone diaphragms. Now, the phone that this voice was recorded on has a different recording diaphragm in it, okay, compared to probably what they're using in the police department right now and the surveillance camera. So it's going to be hard to do that. Now, when you're analyzing a voice, you'll have vowels and sayings and stuff that you can go by. And if you have an analyzer, it'll point them vowels out to you. It reads the voice. If you're into music or recording music or voices, they have analyzer spectrums and EQs and everything. But some of these plugins that these guys have created for music and singing also work with trying to compare a voice. It gives you a decibel. It gives you a recording of your decibels, okay? And it gives you a wave pattern of that signal of your voice. And you are able to compare them, right? So keep that in mind. His voice is going to sound a little different depending on what microphone was being used. Okay, these people don't know about recording microphones and diaphragm. Every microphone is a little bit different, has a different sound to it, and it's you would need a professional recording artist, engineer to explain all this stuff. I watched it for many years to learn how to record and do all this stuff. So each microphone is different. And it might be the same thing in the phones. Each phone might have a different microphone or than the other phones, right? And therefore, it will sound a little bit either clearer or better or different, a different pitch or whatever. All right, let's keep listening.
Oh, let's see.
I've been so nice to you.
Oh, yeah, you're being nice. You're trying to get me to confess to something I had nothing to
I'm
do
trying to
with.
get you to tell the truth. I'm not trying to trick you. I've drawn out what we have. Most of it.
You assume it's the truth, and it's not.
It has to be the truth. The scientists don't lie. The science doesn't lie.
That's awesome.
It's saying that round came from your gun.
I don't understand all that. All I'm telling you is there's a way that a round from my gun, the one that you took from my house, ended up next to a murder scene or anywhere else. I don't know where you got that bullet. If it came out of my gun.
Right there. That's the
Then
round.
it didn't come out of my gun.
That round was
Then
collected.
it didn't come out of my gun.
Rick, that round was collected on the 14th of February, 2017.
Okay.
It's been in evidence ever since.
Okay.
All right, and we've compared other weapons to that.
I understand what you're saying, but I can't explain it. I'm just telling you that if that was next to a murder site or anywhere near it, it didn't come out of my gun. And I don't know where you would have got one that did come out of my gun.
Right there. It was there. It was found.
Okay.
And I don't think you realize the severity of this. You realize the death penalty is on the table for this?
You know what? I don't really care about at this point. I've dealt with not wanting for 7, 8 years now. It's been a long fucking battle. And with what you guys have done to me, I don't give a fuck. You'll make my wife rich. So
is that what she wants? Is that what your daughter wants?
They don't want any of this to even be happening.
Well, it is.
Exactly.
I can't turn this
exactly.
back. You were there. You're there.
Yep.
The experts say that's you on the video.
Okay.
The experts are saying you said down the hill to the girls. The experts are saying all this. That all the evidence indicates you were out there. The witnesses saw you. The witness saw.
Hello, Miss Jennifer. All right, so So what we're getting here, folks, make sure you go check out Crime Circus's channel. Great creator and everything. All right, let me see what Miss Jennifer's saying here. We'll take a break from this. I'm sorry, I got one. I'm trying to listen to the Bridge Guy video behind scenes here, and then I got this other. I got him being interrogated. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Let me see what Jennifer said. I hear Ron Logan saying down the hill, and Ron Logan even tried to discuss his voice or disguise his voice when he asked. I don't know. I don't think it was Ron Logan. There are some comparisons than what I'm hearing right now, but they disappear. I don't know. This is freaky stuff. These people might be right. It's some kind of a demonic stuff, and pretty much Richard Allen's telling him he doesn't give a crap. Right? They're telling him he's going to go down and possibly die. You know, and he's telling these people, who cares? All right, let's continue to listen.
Oh, you said you didn't see anybody else on the bridge, but there was a girl that walked up, a lady that walked up and saw you on the platform, right?
Okay.
You didn't see her, and then right after that, these two girls that end up dead minutes later walk by her, and she looks back and sees them passing you. You're the last person to have contact with Abby and Libby. Your weapon, your gun out of your weapon is.
I've never contacted Abby and Libby. I've never even met them.
That day. Why? Who said
I didn't.
That's all I want to know is the truth. You're not willing.
I told you the truth. Do what you need to do.
Okay. Well, let me get I have the warrant here for your DNA, and then let me step out and see. And they'll come in and swab you with it.
That's fine.
Well, I'm trying to help you.
Okay, well, they must have had DNA because we have Holman here telling Richard that they're going to come in and swab him. So they must have had some kind of DNA. Okay, if they want to swab him, they must have had. There must have been DNA left behind at the crime scene. All right, let's keep going.
But, all right, I think they got the warrant, so hang on one second.
All right, he's got very skinny legs. Very skinny legs. He's got the upper body. He's got that upper shoulder body that does fit. But he's got really skinny legs.
All right, Rick, this is the warrant right now we have for to collect your DNA. Tuxedo's going to do it. Okay. I'll read it to you. It's to law enforcement reference DNA standard vehicle swab. You're hereby authorized and ordered in the name of the state of Indiana to take a DNA standard of Richard M. Allen. My vehicle swab, so basically I'll just swab the inside of your teeth. Okay. Compare that to any DNA that we have. Okay. You are further ordered to any means necessary to seize Richard Allen and to take a vehicle swab. You're being cooperative, so we don't have to worry about that. But if you weren't, we could get it any means necessary. To compare the evidence of the crime. You are furthermore ordered to seize such property or any part thereof found on such search, and that you bring the same or any part therefore with before me to be disposed of according to law. So basically, we take it, we can't dispose of until the judge says so. So we'll keep this. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything in your mouth?
No.
No. Sorry, turn my way for me. Just turn your body.
Just turn my body.
Yeah. All right, open your mouth.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me make this a point. Just because they swapped it, here's the thing. They might have something on Richard Allen other than the voice, other than the bridge. And I said that numerous times on this channel. They must have something that they picked him up for. Now, he might not be voice guy, but the DNA put him there. The bullet put him there. Right? Now, Richard Allen in this video did say he has no idea how that bullet could have got there. And there's numerous ways it could have got there. If love went bad at home, you know, these women, they'll act like they love you, but the whole time they're cheating on you. The same thing with men. There's numerous ways that bullet could have got there. Right? Numerous ways. If he wasn't keeping an eye on his weapons, if he felt he could trust everybody, then it's very possible he was set up. But they must have had DNA because they wouldn't be swabbing him for DNA if they didn't have DNA already.
Understand.
And yes, it's possible to set somebody up with their own DNA.
Okay, good.
Well, balls in your court, Rick.
Heck, Holman sounds like voice guy.
You just took my DNA.
So what you were telling me out there, it's over, huh?
The damage is done. I don't know.
I'm sorry that you think this is funny. You keep laughing. Maybe it's just a nervous laugh. I don't know, but I'm trying to help you. Yes. Why is all this evidence clearly indicating that you're involved?
I can't tell you that. And what you're talking to me about is a bullet that was found by the murder scene next to.
It's more than just that. You have to listen to me for just 2 minutes straight. Just forget about everything else. Okay? The girls have a video of you. Experts are saying without a doubt that is you on the bridge. That is your voice. How they do it, I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. We have 5 witnesses that see you out there on the bridge with the girls.
Don't see that.
Right?
What experts is Holman talking about? They didn't hire any experts. I don't understand what he keeps saying. Maybe that we hired experts. Where? Show us the experts. Because the guy that did this analysis, I could have swore he said he wasn't a professional, but he's been listening to it and he believes that he's going into being he's training, but he's not legally a professional. And I agree. Richard Allen don't seem like he can give two craps in the wind, right? He's telling him, take my DNA, do whatever, right? He's laughing at him because either he's arrogant or he's not guilty. He was there. He's the one that told the police he was there. I don't know. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. Yeah, 5 witnesses. I know. Why didn't they bring these witnesses up and show them Richard Allen and say, is that the guy you seen there? He walked right past you. Is that the guy? And with the witnesses, they gave us 6 guys. Right? There's 6 sketches of Bridge Guy or the people involved.
Why don't you see that? I'm not lying to you.
Because it didn't happen.
It did happen.
There could have been somebody that seen me that I didn't see. What I'm telling you is they didn't see me anywhere near the girls or anybody else because I wasn't around anybody that day. So I'm done answering. Like, I know you're trying to trick me into saying
I'm
that.
not tricking you.
I don't care how stressed out I get. I'm not going to fucking admit to something that I had nothing to do with.
I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not trying to trick you.
I didn't kill
listen.
anybody else because I wasn't around anybody that day. So I'm done answering. Like, I know you're trying to trick me into saying
I'm
that.
not tricking you.
I don't care how stressed out I get. I'm not going to fucking admit to something that I had nothing to do with.
I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not trying to trick you.
I didn't kill.
Listen, I have a full hand of cards here. I'm not laying all my cards on the table.
Okay.
I'm telling you bits and pieces, hoping that you will realize that without a doubt, we have you out there at the time of the murders. It clearly indicates that you're involved in this. Clearly.
It does not. There is nothing that you could have that's going to indicate me because I wasn't out there.
And you don't think that you're around like 6 inches away?
I know that a round from my gun did not end up at a murder scene.
You're wrong.
I wouldn't say that, Mr. Richard Allen.
I don't believe it.
It's possible if someone set you up.
You're going to.
I'm not.
You said you didn't want to be the fall guy. You're being the fall guy because you won't give us your side of the story. The truth.
I don't care.
You should care.
You're not going to prove I did something I didn't do.
You're exactly right. We're not. We're going to prove what you did. Your involvement in this.
Involvement. What was my involvement?
You tell me. You were there.
And I told you I had nothing to do with it. I told you I never even seen it.
I wasn't there. I'm not on video. 4 witnesses didn't see me. 4 or 5 witnesses didn't see me out there, and I can.
Me either.
And my round wasn't out of my gun. Wasn't 6 inches away from a dead girl's foot.
Mine either.
I'm telling you, you're living in this world.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I'm showing you some of the evidence that we have. And I'm giving you the opportunity to give your narrative, because if you don't, they're going to make it up. And you know, the media, not even media is mild compared to social media.
Sure.
Is going to portray you as this monster. Are you a monster?
They're already going to do that. You've already talked.
When you get arrested for this?
It doesn't even matter, because I actually care about what people think.
Yeah, you do.
I said I do. I actually care about what people think. That's why.
So do I. That's
you've
why
already done the damage. How am I supposed to? Never mind.
No, please talk to me.
I just
clear this up in my head.
I just don't know how I'm supposed to act like this never happened.
You can't. You can't.
I'm not saying the murder. I'm saying
that's exactly what you're saying. Your conscience is trying to tell you this is the day. This is the time. This is the time to get out in front of this, Rick. You made a mistake. You got in the middle of this. You got in the middle of this. You cannot explain all the evidence away. And you're saying, "Oh, that's not me. I'm just telling you what we have. Some of what we have.
Okay.
And we're still working on other things.
Okay.
But
I'm not going to tell you I did something I didn't do.
I don't want you to say.
End of story.
Well, Miss Jennifer, we did hear rumors of DNA, but there was a lot of rumors going around that it was animal DNA, possibly either dog or cat or something like that. So there was rumors in the beginning of the case that there was DNA, but they weren't sure if it was human or animal. So it's obvious there was DNA at the case, at the crime scene, because they swabbed them, right? They came in, they told them they're going to swab them. So when there was people in the case saying there was no DNA left behind, that's why they haven't made an arrest, or the guy wasn't in the system. That's why they couldn't find him. Whatever, so many years went by. But that must have been a lie because then it came out there was DNA, but they weren't sure if it was animal DNA. So it's obvious they had DNA. What DNA? I don't know. But you're also right, Miss Jennifer and Debbie, that his DNA might not have matched, right? That's possible. But there was other things at the crime scene that did match that he can't explain, right? He can't explain it away, why it would be there, why his bullet would be there. Uh, why people are saying he was there. Now, if you ask me, does he look like any of the sketches? Not really, right? If I was to look at these sketches that are out and then look at Richard Allen, there's a slight comparison, but not much, right? Let's see what Jennifer just said. I would like to see RA get a new trial. Well, here, let me tell you something. He's going to deny it, right? If he did do it, he's going to deny it from the word go. And I think maybe if he did do it, he was relying on, hey, I'm the one that called you folks and told you I was there that day. That was me on the bridge, right? He's the one that called them and told them. Now, whether he did that thinking that he would be a witness, right? That he would be a witness. If he did do it, that's very well possible he called him, hey, that's me on the bridge. I didn't see anybody out there, right? So it can go both ways, right? If he's guilty, he's going to deny it all the way through. He's holding the card. He's playing a good defense right now. He's putting up his defense, and Holman's telling him we got you, and he's saying you're going to go down for this murder and all this. And Richard Allen saying, I don't care. Go ahead. Right? Who cares? So he's putting up a good defense.
And I appreciate that. What did you do? What is your involvement? Who else? I have 100 different questions, but if you're not willing to tell the truth, it's a waste of your time and mine. And you're going down for something that you have maybe some involvement in. Maybe this is all you.
Where's this guy that's saying that I helped him?
You tell me. I'm not saying that. Did I say today that
you're saying that I was involved? Well, if I didn't do it, but I'm involved, what are you saying? If you got
Okay, here's another key thing. Richard Allen is saying, who's this other guy you got that is saying I did this? Right? So now we're right off the bat. And in the beginning of this interview, Holman tells him, right? He makes it clear that he thinks are you the mastermind of this? Or were you just someone that was there? So right off the bat, they do think there was other people there. All right. And now he's telling the police, well, who's the other guy? Who's the other person that said I was there and helped them do this? So enter, there must have been other people there, right? From what the police are thinking. All right, let's continue. Let me check my chat out real quick. I think he's laughing because he feels that this is so ridiculous at this point. Yeah. Yeah. No, you have to remember, he's at this point, you're seeing Richard Allen right now, and he has a mental, he's already on medication for anxiety and schizophrenia or whatever. And you can tell his expressions in his face, right? Uh, Either that or he's being possessed demonically or something, which we're looking into that because with all of the stuff that these people been saying, that is true, right? These people have been witchery, sorcery, all that. It very well might be he was possessed by somebody. We don't know. All right, let's continue.
Got somebody saying I helped them do it, they're fucking crazy.
Okay. I never said that. Did I? I just said you're involved. What is your involvement? Is that a theory that some people may have that
I don't
you act
know.
as? I just want you to tell me all the truth. I just want you to
I'm
be
done.
just completely honest with me.
Listen, Richard's a smart guy. It was Holman that put out there, were you the mastermind? Right? Now, Richard asking these questions to Holman is perfectly normal, right? Because they're thinking, and the things Holman is saying is making Richard Allen believe that, well, there was someone else. They think there was many of them, right? So he's asking them, well, who's the other guy? If I was there and I did this, where's the other guy? Who's the other guy that's saying I helped him do these murders or whatever, right? So he's, and Richard Allen has a military backing. He knows this is all mind games, right? So he's going to play. He was trained not to crack under stress.
If you're gonna arrest me, arrest me. I'm not talking anymore. This is ridiculous.
I just thought maybe you would appreciate my effort to help you. I mean, apparently you don't, because
Yeah.
after today, I can't help you.
I understand that.
You do understand that.
I don't need your help.
You need help. You don't think any of this is important?
I think that nothing that you have is going to show me anywhere near the murder of two little girls. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, we do have that.
You don't. It's not possible.
No, he don't sound like voice
It is
right
possible.
Whatever.
in this clip right
I
here.
apologize.
I'm already been dealing with bullshit, having to worry about what you've said to my neighbors, what you said to the people I work with. That's more than I want to deal with. I'm not going to sit here and do
Vowel
this.
vocabulary changed on the analyzer, so he's
Purple Wave Auction is transforming equipment buying and selling. With no reserve online auctions, it's all straightforward.
stupid. Ads.
All right, sit tight.
Jesus Christ.
This is a Crime Circus presentation.
I know I wasn't in there. Could you just give me?
No.
You don't want to talk about that.
Not
Okay,
gonna
what?
talk about any of it.
Okay, what I failed to tell you too is the witnesses saw a gun in your pocket.
No, they didn't.
You're saying you didn't have a gun
I'm saying I did not have a gun.
when you were out there, and you told me earlier no one borrowed that gun.
I probably never would have let somebody.
All right, Holman just said the witnesses said he had a gun. We looked at the witnesses never claimed he had a gun. What witnesses he's trying to trick them up, right? Because the witnesses never did. Here's what they failed to realize, these investigators. Richard Allen had 7 years or 6 years to watch the case. He knew there was nothing in any of the witnesses' statements that there was a weapon. Nothing. The witnesses would have said, oh, he was carrying a gun. So he's got him on that, right? There was no witnesses that brought up that they seen a gun. Not one of them.
Borrow my gun.
Probably wouldn't have, but I'm asking you, did you?
No.
Okay. And again, I tried to clarify this earlier. You and I both know I'm not a scientist, and you're not a scientist. But what the scientists are telling me is this extraction mark is like a fingerprint. It's unique to the gun. I told you that earlier. You understand that. It's not unique to that type of gun. It's unique to that specific gun. Just like your fingerprint. If I have a fingerprint, my fingerprint, your fingerprint, and I got a fingerprint at the scene, we match that fingerprint. It's significant to one person. No fingerprints are alike.
And what I'm telling you is there is no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene.
And we've been working on this for over 5.5 years. We get a search warrant for your house, find your gun, because we were told when we found that round that it had 3 extraction marks on it. And without a doubt, they would be able to match that extraction mark to the gun. Not type of gun, the gun. We've taken multiple guns down there, and they have not matched to those extraction marks. Your gun does, 100% without a doubt. It's in this certificate of analysis. The scientists say that the marks on that gun match your gun.
And I'm telling you, it didn't happen. I didn't shoot anybody. I've never even pointed a gun at anybody.
I'm not saying you shot anybody. I'm saying a fully intact round from your gun was.
And I'm telling you, that's not possible.
It is.
It's not.
How's it not?
Because I wasn't there.
You were there. You said you were there.
I told you I was on the trail. I didn't tell you I was at a murder site. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you something that's not true so you can feel better about this.
I already feel good about this.
Okay.
I feel good about what the experts are telling me.
Okay.
I feel good about the scientific evidence. I feel good about the witness statements. I feel good about everything.
All right. Now, looking at this footage, and he's up closer and you can see his body, right? He does have the upper body that would match, especially if he had a whole bunch of clothes on or whatever, or people were saying that was, in the beginning of the case, remember they were saying there was kid dolls that were scattered around the body, a bunch of dolls, right? We don't know if that's true. We do know there's a shoe tree out there, so it's possible he had a bunch of shoes in his jacket or something. Maybe there was a doll found out there. We don't know. But here's the thing. The footage that they released to the public, could I say it was Richard Allen? 100% no. I can't say it was Richard Allen 100%. Now, I'm not saying it's not Richard Allen, that he didn't have anything to do with the case or anything. But I'm saying if they were to call me into court, say, this is the photo, that's Bridge Guy, is that Richard Allen? I can't say, yes, that is Richard Allen, because it's not a clear enough photo, and it's not an up close photo. And I wouldn't be able to say 100% it's Richard Allen. Now, they must have had clearer footage than what they put out, or closer footage of when he came up on them, maybe. I don't know. But from the video that they put out, could I say that's Richard Allen? Not 100%. Not 100%. There are character, similar things, but 100% to say it's him, I couldn't say it, not from the footage.
What I don't feel good about is you being a fall guy for anybody or everybody or anybody involved in this, if that's possible. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you did do this all by yourself. That's exactly, I know you keep snickering at that, but that's exactly what's going to be portrayed of you. You're this evil monster that was just hunting for 2 teenage girls so you could just go down there and terrorize them and kill them, and that's not true. Is it?
I told you.
You and I both know that that's not true. You and I both know that that's not true. You and I both know what happened. The evidence clearly is indicating. Now there's some missing pieces. I'm going to find those missing pieces.
Okay.
And it would be easier if you helped me find those missing pieces.
Oh my God. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I did something I didn't do.
I don't want you to. I told you that.
That's exactly what you want me to do. What else would you want me to do but tell you I did it? And I'm not going to, because I didn't. I've never been around those two girls in my life.
You were on the trail that day.
I was on the trail that day, and I told you
And
that.
they walked right by you, according to witnesses.
No, they didn't. I never even seen them. Like, I think I'm going to see somebody if they walk past me. Am I not? I'm not saying somebody didn't see me that I didn't see. All I'm telling you is I never seen those two girls.
This right now don't sound like Bridge.
Day one.
Report what?
That you were out there and you saw these two girls. You were in the area.
The very day that they came out and said that they wanted anybody who might have been out there to come in, that's what I did. I went down to the police station. I said, hey, I was out at the trail that day.
Did you want to?
Well, I obviously did, or I wouldn't have.
Did your wife encourage you to? Because she's talking to us. She's talking to us right now. And
I'm sure she is. And she's going to tell you there's no way in hell that I'd ever do this. So we're all good.
It's not what was going on, Rick.
Then I
Patriot software immediately helped me run payroll. And I was able to accomplish it with no problem.
I don't know what is.
I just wish you'd be honest. That's all I do.
Oh my God. I have been honest with you, and you obviously don't believe me.
I don't, because if this evidence wasn't there, I would.
Okay.
You don't believe this evidence is?
I don't.
We're not here.
There's no way possible.
We didn't.
There is no way possible that a round from my gun ended up at a murder scene. It's not possible.
Mr.
So
Richard,
something's obviously wrong.
It's obvious you don't know
Exactly.
about setups. Quit saying that. It is possible.
I didn't do it.
Bullet ended up there, but not by you.
And I'm not going to sit here all day trying to convince you that I didn't do it. You obviously think that I did.
I'm not going to sit here all day and convince you that I think that you did do it, Rick. I'm just laying down some of the evidence that we have.
Okay.
And we're going to get more.
I don't think
and
so.
We're only giving you the opportunity to get out in front of this. This is your opportunity. Like I said earlier, the truth is easy.
I've got nothing to get out in front of. I'm not going to tell you I did something I didn't do.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't want you to tell me something that you didn't do.
Then stop asking me to.
I'm not. I'm just asking you to tell the truth about this day. I asked you to go back and rehash it and you wouldn't. Why?
I told you, because I'm not going to, you guys are like trying to trick me into doing something.
I'm not trying to trick you.
I told you what happened. You've already got it. There's no need for me to tell you again.
Story.
Whatever. There aren't any. I don't know how I can make this any clearer. I'm not going to tell you that I had something to do with this.
Okay. And I don't know how I can make this any clearer. We have evidence indicating that you're clearly involved in this. And that's sad that you won't help.
I can tell you this much, right? I'm looking at his eyes as he's talking. He's not doing a lot of blinking. Right? He's not touching his face or doing anything. He's got a little bit of a tick or something that he's doing, but if you keep an eye on his eyes, he's not doing to me. He's making eye contact with him, right? Now, what do I see in Richard Allen when he's looking at Holman right now? Richard Allen wants to rip his neck off and shit down his neck, right? Richard Allen is compliant to everything they want, but he keeps insisting. If you ever been in trouble when you were younger and been interrogated by a cop, right? Even though you're innocent, they'll just keep telling, you can tell them I had nothing to do with it, right? You can even confess and say it had nothing to do with it. No matter what, they're going to get you on something, whether it's contributing to a crime or cover up or whatever it is, right? All right, let's keep going here.
Okay.
If that was your daughter out there, you would help some people out.
You're damn right I
Damn
would.
right. But you don't, so. Still waiting because it sounds like your wife's talking and she's being honest, so. She basically said, you can't believe you lied to her, so you're lying to us too, but. So is there a reason why you have this round in your little keepsake box? What kind of ammo did you have for your SIG?
I don't know.
Blazer?
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
At that time.
At that time, you had Winchester.
Okay.
The round we found was Winchester. The ammo you had in your gun and for your gun at the time was Blazer. But this was a Winchester, it says right there, Winchester. Same exact type of round.
We've been through this.
I know, I'm just giving you an opportunity. Like I said, your wife's being honest.
Please stop giving me
And
opportunity.
she says ever since 2017, she's saying that you didn't want to go. You wouldn't let her go on the search party. She wanted to help.
Oh.
And she's saying that.
I think I know my wife.
Well, I'm just telling you.
My wife
Want me to bring her in?
some stupid shit
You want me to bring her in and tell you? She's telling the truth about what happened. You didn't tell her.
All right, so they must have. All right, so they must have got to the wife because he's coming out saying that the wife already has come out and said that it's been Dale. All right, so the wife, Holman comes back in and he tells Richard Allen that his wife wanted to go out there and help look for them, but Richard said no. He refused to, or told her. Right? So she must be saying something different. Now, once again, folks, let me highly stress this. Richard Allen might not be bridge guy. He might not be voice guy. But they must have had something there. I refuse to believe, well, I can't say that anymore because they've proven to me over and over again that conspiracies are real and setups are real. So when Richard Allen keeps saying he has no idea how his bullet got there, right? There's no way. Well, there is a way. Where there is a way or a will, there's a way. So it's very well possible when he was at work or something, maybe somebody was there. Maybe someone took a bullet, popped it out of the extractor, right? And just dropped it there. Any of this stuff is possible. Let's keep going. This video is almost over with. It's not Kelt. Are you telling me Kelt's got a whole bunch of alt accounts, Debbie? I'm going to have to take these people to crime fighting school.
Her, but you've lied to her for years, is how she feels right now. Because, and your depression has gotten considerably worse since this incident, which is.
This has been going on for 7-8 years now.
But it's gotten worse since.
Well, it's gotten really bad.
I could see why. If I killed two girls, I would get.
Oh my God.
I would have depression too.
Well,
I would have mental issues too.
I'm sure you would.
And that's why you are. Here's what I think, Rick. I don't know. Only you know, but here's my theory. You're out there. Maybe somebody set this up. Maybe they didn't. Maybe you're out there. Maybe we know you're out there. That's a theory. That's a fact. We know you had a gun. Girls saw a gun in there. We know you have anger issues. Your wife told us before that you have some anger issues and you have depression and you have, those types of issues. And maybe these girls said something to you. I don't know. Maybe you said go down the hill, which we know. The experts say you said.
Another key point here, Jerry Holman is telling him already. Holman's already telling him, we know you got issues, right? We know you got problems already. So they already know he's got mental problems. He's got whatever it is, he's got issues.
They go down the hill. You get down there and they piss you off for whatever reason. You racked the gun. You didn't realize you racked that gun to scare them, and that round popped out. You didn't realize it because maybe do you carry that gun with a round chambered, or do you not have it chambered?
When I carry it, I would have a round chamber,
So
but
you
I
rack
didn't
it to
carry it
scare
very
it comes
often.
out. Well, you were carrying it that day because
Huh?
girls said. So if you have one chambered, and what I'm saying is if I have a round chamber, which I do, and I rack this.
All right, Holman says, well, you were carrying it that day. And Richard said, no, I wasn't. When I do carry it, I have a round in it. And I think I just heard Holman say, well, you did have it that day, and the girls seen it. Right? What girl? Was it the other girl that supposedly there was 3, 4, 5, 6 girls there that day?
Gun right now around a fully intact round will pop out. Correct?
I assume.
Well, that's what's happened. And you didn't realize it.
Okay.
And that's why that round's there on the ground, Rick. And this is your opportunity. And you say that you don't want to this and
Can
that.
you please stop giving me opportunities? I'm not going to sit here and tell you I did something I didn't do.
Okay, tell me.
I'm not going to tell you I'm involved.
Okay, the photos that he showed was the ammo that they retrieved from Richard's house, probably. He asked them, what's this, the ammo in this box or whatever, right? So it must have been a match when Richard had Winchester. Now they're saying that he had Blaze, right? But at the time of the murders, he had Winchester or whatever. I don't know, right? They must have had something there that matched.
With something.
Tell me what you did do then that day. Help me.
I didn't
Help me
murder
set
2
you
little
free.
girls.
What did you do?
I went for a walk on the trail and I went home. And I told you the details of the best I can remember of what I did that
If you
day
live
and
in
what the walk
America, you
was.
got issues. That's true.
I'm not going to. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to just keep repeating myself.
Okay.
So.
But I'm not going to keep bringing up more evidence either. I mean, I can only give you so much. What about Ron Logan? Do you know Ron Logan?
Mm-hmm.
You ever been on his property?
Mm-hmm.
You don't,
Not that I know of.
You don't hunt. You say you fish?
We mushroom hunt. Yeah, I fish.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out why that round from your gun would be out there. I'm giving you the
Not.
I know you don't want me to give you opportunities, but I'm giving you the opportunity. But you never mushroom hunt on that side of that ditch? On 2000, or you weren't mushrooming, it was too early for mushrooms.
A little bit. It was just a seasonably warm day. So I went for a walk.
Okay. And nobody had.
answering that. I've answered it 15 times.
I mean, obviously, you would tell me if someone did, because then that would put them there and not you. Because right now, you are already out there by witnesses, and I both know that realistically, the evidence doesn't lie. So
It obviously does,
if
if
you
that's
did
what it's
know,
saying.
I think I know you will. That if you did know somebody borrowed your gun or had your gun, you would tell us.
Of course I would.
Okay. So it's realistic for me to believe that you're the only one to have your gun. Excuse me.
I've answered that 15 times.
Okay. And you said 15 times. That's true. So like I said, I'm trying to help you. If you don't want me to help you, I won't. I'll leave it
I
now.
don't. That's fine.
What I'd like for you to do is tell me again what happened, because you didn't tell me. I watched the interview. I'm just trying to figure out why you're around 6 inches from those girls.
And I'm telling you, that's not possible.
Do you believe in science? Do you believe in?
I believe in science. I don't understand all of it.
I don't either. But if a scientist, a certified analyst, is telling you that this round came from this gun, specifically this gun, not this type of gun.
I get all that. I know what you're saying. And what I'm telling you is that bullet did not come from my gun if it was found at that murder scene or on the bridge or where, like, it didn't come from my gun is what I'm trying to tell you.
And I'm trying to.
So
it did, and they're telling me it did. So now I'm trying to figure out who had your gun, and you're saying nobody did 15, 16 times, and who had a round from your gun. Did anybody have your ammo? I don't know. You explain to me. You try to explain to me why.
I'm not going to try to explain. I told you
You
that.
can't. You can't explain why your round is by this dead girl's foot.
Because it's not.
But it is. You believe in science. You believe in that analysis. You believe that our lab, that round's been in storage since the 14th of 2017.
I am telling you that any round involved in this whole thing did not come from my gun.
And I'm telling you, you're lying.
Okay.
Because I have evidence that it is.
You don't.
That's not evidence?
I'm telling you, never mind.
Please, tell me. I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out Crime Circus. I posted
I'm all
their
ears.
channel in my chat.
I've got nothing to say. I've got nothing to say. This is ridiculous.
So you're saying you didn't have the gun on the trail, so there's no way you racked it out there on the trail and somebody might have picked this round up?
What I'm telling you is I don't carry my gun. I carry my gun if we go fishing along the river, like night fishing. I carry my gun if we're going to go out and tromp through the woods mushroom. That's about the only times I even carry my gun.
And you weren't mushroom hunting and you weren't fishing that day.
It was like February or something.
February 13th,
Okay.
2017.
You realize mushrooms don't grow that early, right?
It's about May, right? April,
Probably
May.
around there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Why would I be mushroom hunting?
I'm just saying, you weren't mushroom hunting and you weren't fishing. You're just walking on a trail. There's no way you would. I'm trying to figure out how that round got out there. If you're adamant that it is your round, I mean, you can't deny that. It's a round from your gun. Did you rack it on the trail? And
I didn't. I didn't have my gun that day.
never racked it on the trail.
I didn't have my gun that day.
Ever, any day. You ever remember racking your gun on that trail?
No, I don't.
You ever remember racking your gun while you're mushroom hunting out there in the years prior? Do you ever remember racking your gun when you were fishing? Did you ever go fishing there?
Not usually, no.
Okay. Where do you usually go fishing?
Down at the dam.
Oakdale?
No, in town, the little creek.
Oh,
Deer
okay.
Creek.
Okay, Deer Creek. And you said earlier you don't shoot it a lot, so you weren't out there target practicing.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just trying to figure out how I got there. When you said you carry it when you're mushroom hunting and fishing, and obviously I know when mushrooms grow, and I know probably, I mean, you could go be fishing in February. Why do you carry it? Why would you carry your gun? I'm not a fisherman or a hunter, but why would you carry your gun if you're out mushroom hunting?
Just because you're going to be out in the boondocks, you just never know who you're going to run into. Personal protection.
Okay. Or snakes or something like that, I guess.
I probably wouldn't shoot a snake.
You wouldn't?
No.
I would.
Well,
I hate snakes. All right.
I'm not saying I like them.
I guess I'm quicker than a snake. I can get away maybe. When you do carry it, do you carry it like just on your hip, or do you carry it like one of those fancy holsters, or do you just put it in your pocket, or
It's got a holster, side holster.
like a paddle holster like this, just clips, or does it go through the belt?
It goes through the belt.
Mine just slides on.
It goes through the belt or clips. I don't know. I'd have to look. Right off, I don't remember.
And you said when you do carry, you have one in the chamber. That's how I carry mine.
Generally, yeah.
Okay, I find that a little suspicious. How he don't know how his holster attaches to his side. If you're a gun owner, you know exactly what kind of holster you got. Whether you have to put it through your belt, or if it's a clip-on, or if it's a shoulder holster. Right? I used to have a shoulder holster to conceal it underneath my arm. All right. So depending on, this is kind of suspicious though, because he's saying, well, he can't remember, he don't know. Right. So that is kind of suspicious. I mean, a man knows his holster, especially when you got to put it on, right? Whether you got to loop it through the belt, or you just slide it out. It's a clip-on, or like I said, a shoulder holster.
All right, let me see what the prosecutor has to say. I'm gonna call him real quick. Tell him what's going on. Okay.
Okay.
What do you want me to tell him?
I want you to tell him whatever you want to tell him. I mean,
The truth? I'll tell him the truth because that's what I do.
that's your version.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Stupid commercials. I found that a little bit interesting, how he can't even tell him what kind of holster he's got. Right? He can't remember. But then again, he's under stress right now. He's being accused of killing 2 little girls. So, of course, he's going to get some questions wrong.
It's obviously not the truth.
You think I'm making up that we found this round? And
I don't know what you're doing. What I'm telling you is,
I'm not making this up. You and I both know. I'm not lying to you about anything. Everything I'm telling you is facts.
Okay.
I'm not trying to trick you into anything, Rick. I know you probably you said you watched Dateline, all these fancy shows. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just giving you some of the evidence that we have against you.
and I'm telling you that that's not possible.
Well, I can't. I'm not making this up. I showed you. I can't make it up. This is a legal document. Item 16.
Any other evidence that
was identified as being cycled in the firearm of item 314. Item 314 is your gun. Item 16 is the round that we found out there on the ditch bank next to Liberty's Foot.
And
That round compared to your gun.
And I'm telling you that didn't happen. That it's not possible.
I don't. So you think I've just typed this up? You think I'm?
You're saying it happened. I'm not denying you're saying that. What I'm telling you is there's no way my bullet was found near a murder scene. It didn't happen.
And I showed you a picture.
And I can tell you
of a round, a Winchester 40 caliber round, right?
I've got nothing to work. Any other evidence that you have is obviously not going to point at me. I mean,
it is.
Okay.
The expert witnesses, the witnesses, all of it.
I don't believe that. But go ahead and call the prosecutor.
I'm just stumped here on what you think I made this up.
What do you want me to tell you?
I want you to tell you how do you think I made this up? Do you think I just typed this up? This is an official document.
I never said you made it up.
I never
said you made it up.
I can't lie to you and say, hey, I have an official document right here saying that this exam was done on this round that we found at the scene. I can't make any of that up. That's what you're telling me.
Well, no. Okay. I've not once said that you're lying. I've not once said that you're making that up.
You're just saying
what I'm telling you is that there's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up anywhere near a murder scene. It just didn't happen. And that's all I can tell you. I can't tell you any more than that.
And all I can tell you is we found this round back in 2017.
Okay.
Collected it, have compared other guns to it. Other guns have not matched. We've had it for over 5.5 years. All right, we get information. You're on the.
Now, I'm also going to say, at that time, the police force was using SIGs. All right, the SIG was a very common gun. I've owned one myself back in 1997 or something like that, or 2000 or whatever. Had a SIG hour. So yeah, I also had a Ruger. I had a couple weapons. So it's a very common gun. Right? It was a 40 cal. Very common, very sought after. A lot of people use them. The police force used to use them. Very, very common weapon. But what's not common is the extractor or the barrel marks. Each gun supposedly is different, right? With the extractor marks and the rifling, the barrel. So. Yeah, if it matched his gun and he's claiming he didn't do it, right? He don't know how it got there. Well, then enters someone tried to set him up. Well, that's possible. I'm not saying that's what happened, but that is very possible. Very possible. But you would have to know someone close to Richard to get inside, to get around from that weapon, to plant if something like this happened. Do you see my picture now?
Trail, we want to talk to you and say, hey, what's going on? Who'd you see? What'd you do? You kind of cooperate, but then we say, hey, we're looking for this and that. Would you let us look? Nope, get a search warrant. We did. We got a search warrant.
Sure.
And we found this gun in your house that you bought in 2001, that the extraction marks, which is the analogy I got from the lab, is it's compared to a fingerprint. It's unlike anybody else's.
Okay.
Because these extraction marks, if they got my SIG 40, if I had a SIG 40, I have a 45 and a 9, but if I had a 40, it wouldn't match to my gun. And we've had multiple 40 caliber guns.
Okay, Homer just admitted he's got a 45 and
with us.
A SIG,
and it doesn't match
himself.
So that's why I'm telling you why we're here. Sure. One reason why we're here today is because your gun matches to this round that was found out there. I can't make that up. I'm not lying to you, Rick. I can't. That's unethical. I can't go.
It's obviously what you think. What I'm telling you is
it's not what I think. It's what the evidence is telling me. If I just thought, I'm gonna make this story up, and somebody was out there and jacked around out of their gun, I can't make that up without the evidence that indicates it. Did they say anything to you about this round and about your gun the day they talked to you a couple weeks ago?
No?
No, because we didn't know.
Okay.
And then we collected all the evidence that we thought would match the evidence that we have and run the test on it. And the test says, ding.
And what I'm
matches your
telling you
gun.
is, and I guess I
You can't
keep-
deny this.
What I'm
I
telling
know
you
what you're
is,
telling me. You're telling me that your gun and that round was nowhere near. And I'm telling you that the evidence indicates it is. Right? We're on the same sheet?
that's what you're telling me, yes.
And that's what you're telling me.
No.
What are you telling me?
I'm telling you that
There's no way in hell that my gun and rounds out there. Go ahead, say it. Sorry, I won't interrupt you.
I'm not saying anything.
Because you know it's a lie. I can't make this up. That's what I'm saying. You and I both know. I can't make this up. I can't. This is a certified official document. I can't just type this shit up and say, oh, look at me. I'm lying to you, Rick.
Okay.
I'm trying to trick you into confessing to something you didn't do. That's bullshit. You and I both know I can't do that.
Okay.
So tell me.
You tell me. Tell me.
This is a Crime Circus presentation.
I think you're involved in this double homicide. That's what I'm telling you because of the facts that we have.
I get that you think that. And I'm telling you I wasn't.
Okay. And if that's all it was, your word against my word, I would be like, okay, Rick, we'll see you later. But I got all this evidence that we can present to a jury of your peers that's going to say, wow, Rick did this. He won't talk to us, so we don't know what he is. He's just some crazy monster that chases around teenage girls and wants to torture them and do whatever. That's what they're going to say. And now your wife and your daughter and your friends and your family have to live with that.
Exactly. They already have to. You've already done the damage.
I didn't do the damage.
You certainly did. You and everybody else.
A round from my gun isn't down there.
I can't explain to you something that I don't understand.
Okay. I wish you could. I wish somebody could.
I certainly wish I could.
Well, sit tight. I'm going to find out what your wife's been telling the other detective, and we'll go from there. Okay. I can bring her in here too. Let her tell you. Maybe she can convince you to tell the truth.
All right, bring in the wife. Let's see what she. Now, like I said, folks, check out Crime Circus. Kid's pretty good. With the effects and the boom, 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 all the explosions and everything. Make sure you check out this kid's channel, Crime Circus. Now, what am I getting out of this? Well, anything is possible in a murder case. Could he have been set up? Yes. Could it have been love gone bad at home and the wife went ahead and this was all planned. They're going to kill these girls and we're going to set them up. That's possible. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that's possible. Now, what am I hearing with the voices? I don't know. This is crazy, folks. And I'm almost going to say demonic because one minute we're getting a match with the vowels and certain, but then it goes away and it's not him. You're like, well, it don't sound like him. So what do I mean? Well, what I mean is like I told you before, every microphone is different. The way it's set up, the things, the tone, the sounds around it. Every microphone is different. So we're hearing him talk right now through the recording or the microphones at the police station, which are probably different than the microphones that are inside the phones, which will probably sound a little bit different because of the diaphragm and the way the microphones are made. And the people that are making it, whatever brand it is different.
Your wife wants to come in and talk to you, so she's going to come and talk to you for a minute, okay? Anything else? You need a smoke break? I want to smoke. You want to step out back and smoke before you talk to your wife?
If you'll let me, I will.
You
But
have a cigarette on?
they're in my jacket.
Where's your jacket?
I'm assuming she has it.
Okay. Hang on. See, water, restroom break, smoke break, anything else? I'll see if she wants to come talk to you. You need nothing else? Water good? You need anything else to drink?
I'm just over this.
I know. I want to get over it too. I have a job to do. I'm trying to figure shit out.
Get it.
Okay. Me again. She wants to talk to you. She's calming down a little bit. We basically told her about the same evidence that we have that we told you about. And she's wants to talk to you. She's a little upset.
Probably terrified.
She is. So she's drinking her water and calming down a little bit. Like I told her, you mentioned it earlier. You're worried about what people are going to think and all this. I get that. But I don't think you're a bad person. Neither does she.
What kind of good person kills two people?
People make bad decisions all the time. I don't know what happened. You know, for all I know, maybe they did something.
What makes two of us?
Well, you have some explaining to do, though. I don't think you can explain why, and other than you think I'm making it up. But good people make bad decisions all the time. Good people get backed into a corner all the time, and I don't know what they did. Maybe I have a hard time believing they did something to. I don't think anybody could do something to deserve to be killed over, but you know, if somebody gets angry,
Who is they,
medication isn't right or whatever, I'm on medication. If my medication isn't right, maybe I don't make the best decisions.
You don't know what they done.
People that are drinking and doing drugs, not saying you do, but when people drink and do drugs or the medication's off, maybe they make bad decisions. Good people do it all the time, but good people get out in front of it and tell the truth and try to help, put an end to it. It's over. And she believes that she doesn't think we're making any of this up. She thinks you're a good person. I think you're a good person. I just think something went wrong. I don't know why or what happened, but only one person can tell me, and that's you.
I can't tell you something that I don't know. I don't know how to make that any clearer.
You don't want to remember?
Oh my God, I didn't do anything. I didn't murder two little girls. I didn't help somebody murder two little girls. I wasn't involved in, what'd you say, scheming or whatever. I wasn't involved with these two girls in any way, shape, or form. Never even seen them before.
Well, I'm gonna let her talk to you a little bit.
Okay.
You guys can try to sort this out. And let me know whatever I can do to help. If you need more water or anything.
Okay.
Need another smoke break. I just feel like you're I don't know. I don't know what to say.
You.
Mhm.
I said, you don't know what to think.
It's tough.
At Gibson's, we strive to provide our customers with the best in plumbing, heating, and cooling across Northeast Indiana.
It's not tough, it's bullshit.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
If you had a valid explanation of all this, but you don't. That's what
I can't explain something I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out.
Hey, baby.
All right, enter the wife.
Yeah. It's all right, babe. It's gonna be all right. They're trying to tell me that you actually believe that I did it. And I just can't believe that.
Trying to figure out where there's a bullet out there. Dude.
I know. Do you think I'm not? And that's what I told them. But I can't explain something I don't understand. I tried to explain to them that there's no way that a bullet from my gun was at a murder scene because it didn't happen. I didn't even have my gun that day I went out. You know me. You know this isn't something I could do. And I know that you know that. You don't have to tell me that, I know. They really think I did this. And they want me to believe that I know you know I didn't do this. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I'm not going to say something that's not true, and I can't explain something that I don't understand. The only way for me to explain it is that I don't know,
To his wife.
because I'm saying it's not
I'm starting
possible.
to
There's
see
no way that a bullet
similarities
from my
in the voice a little bit. All right, so, and let me point out that she is not acting like somebody that thinks he's innocent right now, right? You think she would be saying this is great, they're great. There's no way you did this. She ain't. She ain't saying none of that. She gives him a hug, sits down, and that's it. She's she's not acting like I thought she would have, right? If he was completely innocent, there was no way he could ever done this.
My gun ended up at a murder scene. I didn't murder anybody. I didn't help somebody murder anybody. You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you. I know you know me. I know you know that I didn't do this, had anything to do with it. I talk about scheming or something.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know how did a bullet from your gun get out there?
I don't know.
Because they said it came from our gun.
I know that's what they believe me. That's what they're telling me.
But how did it get there?
I don't know.
They said there was one in your box above your dresser that matched it.
They showed me that picture too. I can't explain it. And I don't.
I can't either. They keep asking me and I don't know how to answer that.
You
There's no
answer
way
it.
for me to know.
I understand. Me either. And that's what I'm trying to tell them.
Oh boy.
You want to keep asking me and I just keep telling you I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain something that isn't possible. But I know, this is what I do know. I know that no bullet from my gun was connected with a murder in any way, shape, or form. And there's no way a bullet from my gun would have been near Abby and Libby's murder or anything else because I never even seen those girls. Period. And I didn't even have my gun that day. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make somebody understand. I get what he's saying. I don't have a way to explain it.
And they're like, there's a witness that said it was you out there.
Dear, I don't
And
know
I'm
what.
like, how did they know it was you? And so they said they showed her a picture. And I'm like, of
Oh
course you were
boy.
out there.
This
If they
ain't
see
good.
me out there, they see me out there, dear. And I
But
told
were you
them.
on the bridge?
I told them I was on the bridge. I went out to the first trestle.
Oh, okay.
That first
I
thing.
don't remember you telling me that. You told me you weren't, so I told you you weren't on it. But I didn't.
It doesn't, hon, you're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
Right.
Huh?
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it.
You told me you,
Huh?
you told me you weren't, so I just was.
No.
All right. This didn't turn out good for her. And now I see where the cake is crumbling now. Yeah, all right. She walks in, she mentioned something about her, right? Now they think me or I'm part of it or whatever. You know, yeah. Now, like I said, we are seeing a little bit of a different in his voice when he's around his wife. So, yeah, like I said, it goes and comes. But if he has a disability, that explains it, right? That explains some of the things we're seeing in his character or his voice. Like when he first came into the interview, I was like, oh, it sounds a little bit like him. But then as the interview continued, his demeanor and his voice changed, and I'm like, it's not sounding like him at all now. It's not sounding like Bridge Guy. But you, like I said, you also have to take in consideration of what microphone they were using when this voice was recorded, right? All right, let's continue. And boy, did she turn gray! Look at she turned gray real fast.
Oh, I told you that I walked.
Okay.
I love you, baby. I don't know what they're trying to do, but I know that that's not what I told you. And I love you. And it's just, they're not going to get away with this. This is exactly what I would never want for you. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to say I did something.
See, to me now, it don't sound like. It sounds like someone named Richard, but not him. It's just, I'm telling you, I think some of these people are right. It's some kind of a demonic thing or something. Yeah, I can see how people are saying, "Oh, we don't know. We're not sure. We're not 100%." Well, nothing is 100%. Nothing is 100%. But we know this much: Indiana is known for demonic stuff, witchery, sort, all this stuff. The proof's out there. It's been out there for a while. So what have they done? Well, we don't know, Lord. It matches, then it don't match. Then it matches, then it don't match. Right? The rolling of his eyes, the tuning. He's battling inside of his own head. He's thinking right now inside of his own head, did I do this and not remember it? Being he was drunk and on pills, right? Anxiety pills or schizophrenia or whatever. And plus, on top of that, drinking alcohol. So could he have had a blackout and not even realized it? Yes, very possible. Very possible. There's people that ain't on drugs and just alcohol, and they drink so much the next day they have no idea what they did. So yes, that's very possible.
Something I didn't do. I'm not.
Yeah.
And I know you know me, and I know you know that I would never do this. All I can say, hon, is you know me. I know, and I know you know me, and I know you. And what they're doing to you right now, I'm not okay with this at all. And they know it, but they're going to do what they're going to do. I'm just sorry you're having to hurt. I'm sorry I'm having to go through it. I mean, how? It's like I told them, the damage is already done. You've already talked to people I work with, you talk to neighbors of mine, and I care about what people think. You know I care about what people think.
I know.
Hell, I have enough trouble not trying to believe that people think. Half the time I just think they think what I'm thinking. You know what I'm talking about. I'm always worried about what Jory thinks or.
I know.
And they're trying to, talk about my anxiety and depression and shit. And
hey, video creator, we know you. For you, it's about more than getting the job done. You'll keep going until.
I tried to explain to them it's been going on for 7, 8 years. Hell, I've had it my whole life.
This is interesting. He's saying this has been going on for 7, 8 years, right? But no one knew who he was until 5 or 6 years after the murders. Are you guys picking up on what's going on? He's saying this has been going on for the past 7, 8 years. But how could it have been going on for the past 7 or 8 years when no one knew who he was until 5, 6 years into the case? Right? 7 years into the case. Right? That don't make sense. Not at all. How could this be going on 7, 8 years when no one knew who he was? He wasn't under the radar. He wasn't being watched. Right? What's he talking about? Well, I do believe he's talking about he was in our chats. He was on social media watching this case behind the scenes. He knows. And that's when Holman said certain things, and Richard Allen said, no, that's not what happened. And what girls seen me with a gun? Right? And if you look at the witnesses, not one of them said they seen a gun. Not one of them. So this might have been a tactic that Holman was using. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but the wife is not acting like this is all crazy. Like she's just not saying nothing. She's sitting there, and she did say something of they might think I'm involved in this or something like that, or might think I'm involved in it or whatever. All right, let's continue real quick. This video is almost over.
They want me to tell them that I did it, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to admit to something that I didn't do. How stupid is that? I don't care what they do to me. I'm not going to admit to doing something I had nothing to do with. And I'm not going to try to explain something I can't explain because I don't know. You tell me, because I don't know. I just know that I never even carried the gun unless we were going mushroom hunting, tromping through the woods, or fishing along the river. That's the only time I even carried it for the most part. I never even would have, hell, I haven't carried my gun, and I don't even remember a time when I used to carry it. I mean, other than going fishing, like if we were going night fishing.
This is a Crime Circus presentation.
But how could the bullet get there, honey? I can't understand that.
I told you, I can't either, hon. There's two explanations. One is the bullet didn't come from my gun.
It did though, honey. They've got ballistics on it.
I get that. Then it didn't come from a murder scene. I don't know what else to say. I get that. I get what they're saying. What I'm telling you is, if that bullet came from my gun, there's no way it was found with their investigation for the murders. There's no way.
Well, there might have been an opportunity. And that opportunity is he was out there hunting for mushrooms years ago, before the murders, and ejected around or whatever. And it laid there. And just for some coincidence, when the girls were killed, it was killed by that bullet. That's possible. The other thing is they called the search off that night. They called the search off that night. So there was an opportunity to set someone up or stage the area. Now, I don't know. We've had a couple people that said they did go back to the crime scene. I don't know if it was that night or whatever. I don't know. But there was an opportunity there to plant a bullet. So nothing is impossible. Now, I'm seeing where some people are now saying, yeah, it's his voice. Well, it does sound like it, but then it disappears. But now that he's talking with his wife, it's back. You can kind of hear it, right? But like I said, folks, You would have to have him talk into the same microphone of the phone that the girls use, and then you would have to hear it compared to that microphone and that diaphragm that they're using in that phone. Because if you listen to his voice on a different device, a different microphone, it's going to sound a little bit different. It'll be either deeper or clearer or numerous things, man, brighter or whatever. So let's keep listening.
I can't explain something I have no answer for. They want you to think that I done it. That's what this is all about. They want you to come in here and make me believe that you think I did it, and I know you don't. You know me too well. You know I'd never do something like this, or even be involved with something like this. So they're probably going to come and take you away from me and go at me again. So, just tell them you want an attorney, and they'll have to let you leave. Don't worry about me. I'm trying to, I don't know what they're doing.
All right. So he's telling her to get an attorney. And it might be because they're questioning her. Like, she might have something to do with this. And she even said that when she first walked in. So that would commence to maybe there was other people on the recording. And there was a rumor around that there was a woman's voice on the recording or whatever. Maybe, who knows? We haven't heard all the recording. It's been edited and put out numerous times, and so maybe they do think there was something going on there, because when she walked in, she said something about that. Now they think I might have had something to question me, and now he's telling her, get a lawyer. Don't tell him anything. Just tell him you want a lawyer. If she's completely innocent, uh, is she doing the right thing? Well, probably, even if she was, innocent. Uh, but a lot of people are like, well, if you have nothing to hide, then you'll talk to the police. Well, true, if you have nothing to do with it and you are perfectly innocent, God, your witness, then you wouldn't need to talk to a lawyer. But in today's world, I'm not going to lie, these investigators will twist, turn, try and get you to trip you up, whatever. You said this, remember? All to put that doubt in the mind. Yeah. Now, 100%, can I say it's Richard Allen? 100%. Just from the BG video? No. I can't say it's 100%. There's characters of the way he walks that fits Richard a little bit. It also fit other people that was the same size as Richard. The face, I can't say that's 100% Richard Allen with the BG video. I'm not saying it's not him, but I'm saying I can't say 100%. And in the predicament in the situation, we don't know. We're not hearing all the video or recording or seeing it. So it's very well whoever was on the bridge just kept walking. That's true. It could have been whoever was on the bridge was just rounding them back to an area where there was other people waiting. That's also true. It could happen. We don't know. We weren't there.
Yes, you do.
There is no way that evidence is going to show that I did
Right
this.
fucking here, Rick.
You got one piece of evidence
I got
that I can't explain.
Multiple. I'm not showing you my whole fucking hand here.
I don't care. I'm telling you, I'm done talking.
And now you're going to drag your fucking wife and your daughter through this because you're too fucking bullheaded to get out in front of this and admit that you made a mistake. And whatever the fuck happened out there, we'll never fucking know because you're too big of a fucking bullheaded. Go ahead.
So tell you I did something.
Tell me
that I didn't do.
The truth, Rick. I don't want to know.
I've told you the truth and you don't want to hear it.
The evidence tells me otherwise. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved in this.
No, it doesn't.
It fucking does.
It doesn't. I'm telling you that there is no way that a bullet from my gun was used in these murders.
And I'm telling you that we had this fucking round on February the 14th, 2017. It's been secured in the fucking laboratory. And we've tested other guns
I understand what you're saying.
I want her to hear this.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm telling you is I can't explain something. I did something.
Tell me
that I didn't do.
The truth, Rick. I don't want to know.
I've told you the truth and you don't want to hear it.
The evidence tells me otherwise. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved in this.
No, it doesn't.
It fucking does.
It doesn't. I'm telling you that there is no way that a bullet from my gun was used in these murders.
And I'm telling you that we had this fucking round on February the 14th, 2017. It's been secured in the fucking laboratory. And we've tested other guns
I understand what you're saying.
I want her to hear this.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm telling you is I can't explain something I don't understand.
Oh, the scientists explained it for you. The lab analysis of analysts have explained that for you. They're saying that this round, without a doubt, came from your gun.
Then you've taken it from somewhere else then. Because it's not possible.
I did not take it from somewhere else. It was logged in. It was taken as photograph.
Bingo. Richard Allen said, well, then it's not from the crime scene. It's from somewhere else that they got his bullet. That's interesting. That's interesting. Right? That throws doubt to, wait a minute, back up. What do you mean it came from another site, another thing? Right? Because he just said, you know, it's my bullet, but it ain't from, it's not from this, right? Then you got it from somewhere else. You got his bullet from somewhere else. Now, there's been a lot of murders down there. So it very well, like I said, they might not, I don't know, we can't talk because it's an ongoing case.
You think we fucking went, stole your fucking round and threw it down by a fucking dead girl's foot? This ain't fucking TV. This is realistic.
I understand.
We collected that fucking item on February the 14th. We didn't take it from anywhere else but that fucking scene. And we didn't take your gun from anywhere else. We took it from your fucking house.
I'm telling you, I can't explain something.
And I'm telling you, the fucking analysts explain it. You can't get past this.
Can you please let my wife out?
Absolutely. Come on, Kathy.
I love you, baby. Can I kiss her?
Yeah, kiss her. Do the right thing, Kathy. Tell him to do the right thing.
She knows I will.
Yeah, do the right thing. You're going to put your family through this for no reason. What?
You're gonna pay for what you've done to my wife.
What am I doing?
You want to fuck with me, but you leave my wife out of this. Fuck, leave me out of it.
No, you're involved in this. You're fucking rounds there, Rick.
No, it's not.
I can see you're getting pissed off. I understand.
I am pissed off. Did you not see my wife?
Did you not see these fucking two girls dead? No, that's what happened. You got fucking pissed off, Adam. You fucking dragging them down a fucking hill And you fucking killed
I
him.
didn't,
Don't fucking tell me you didn't.
I didn't kill anyone.
Don't fucking upset for a reason, not because
You guys
of
are trying to kill somebody.
You're trying to tell me that I'm not making this fucking round shit up, Rick. It is what it is.
I'm done talking. Arrest me.
Happy to. Be fucking happy to, because I tried to fucking help you and you wouldn't fucking do it.
Oh, you're helping me.
Guilty, and I know it, and I'm gonna fucking prove it.
Okay.
And I'm not paying for any of this shit. You're paying. This is on you. This ain't on me. It's fucking on you, Rick. You had your fucking opportunity. Fuck. Fucking.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the video. Excuse me. What do I think? I think they were looking at him and his wife and other people, and I think they do think there was other people involved, and they should. Now, the whole bullet thing, how did it end up there? Well, there's numerous ways that could have been done, depending on what was going on in his family at that time in that area, who he knew, who he was hanging around with. There's footage out there of him verbally abusing his wife or whatever in front of people at the bar. Is it possible she got fed up with it and they set this whole thing up? That's possible. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it is possible that it was a setup. Yeah, it's possible. For one, they called the search off, so that gave the people the opportunity to place evidence there to make it look like it was Richard Allen. Here's another key thing. They tested numerous weapons from numerous people in that area, right? With the same caliber gun. They also tested them weapons, and none of them were a match but his. But the opportunity was there to stage this whole thing. And they found the bullet the same day as they found the girls, not as these people put out. Well, they went back there weeks after the murder, and the bullet was found in the dirt. That was all a lie. That was all a lie. They had the bullet the first day they found the girls, and they pointed it out. So there was a lot of people involved, cover-ups, trying to send people on. Well, there was a reward, 300,000, right? For all we know, this whole thing was a scam to do what? To rip off the government, right? If Richard Allen didn't do it, he's found guilty. You know how rich he's going to be? He's going to sue the government. He'll have millions, right? Anything is possible. So what do I think? I don't know. It's just too much. The way his wife was acting. They said his wife was at work that day. All right. So she can't be at two places at the same time. You also heard Holman say in that recording that the witnesses seen a gun. What witnesses? Because the witnesses didn't describe seeing any weapon at all. They described 5 different people. Right? There was a big guy there, 5'11" to 250 pounds. There was a shorter guy there. There was a guy walking a dog. There was a woman that was walking a dog. There was a plaid shirt guy. There was all dressed in black guy. They had numerous suspects. But not one of them witnesses said they seen a gun strapped to his side. So that's interesting. But it is also interesting how Richard Allen don't know what kind of holster he has. Right? Whether it goes through the belt or it just clips on the side. He couldn't. He didn't know. Right. That's interesting. His voice matches, and then it don't match. That's very interesting too. Him rolling his eyes and everything, and putting his head down or whatever, and that's a sign of submission, right? That he's feeling guilty and everything. So I don't know. I don't know, right? We weren't there. We don't know, and we don't have all the evidence. But it's obvious they had DNA because they swabbed his mouth, so they wanted to compare it with someone's DNA, right? Which, being that the murder scene wasn't properly locked down, it could be anybody. Anybody could have showed up there with anybody's DNA and put it on the girls. Also with the bullet. Yeah, yeah, right. But being they have him in a predicament, they know that he's got a disability and depression and probably schizophrenia or whatever. And they said that right off the bat when he walked in there, right? Holman told him, "We know you have problems and everything." So is it possible he did this and he also was on alcohol and then the meds and everything and the depression and he just don't remember it? Yeah, that's also very possible. So yeah, and Debbie, you're right. Debbie, you are so right. This should have been a case that the people seen. Now I understand there was two minors involved, but they also could have got around uh, the photos, blocking them out. But we could have been inside the courtroom to hear all the evidence, see all the evidence other than the photos. Uh, and these people that had to look at these photos, are some of these YouTubers calling them pedos and sickos? Are they going to arrest them? Right? In order to do your job as an investigator or even a jury, you're going to have to see these photos. Then they did show these photos in the court, right? So people now are saying, "Oh, you want to see the photos and uh, you want to see all this stuff in it." It's called evidence. And if you don't know what the evidence is, if you're not looking at it in your face, well, then Ronald McDonald could have did the murders. So it's a 50-50 case. Folks, this has been a long video. Now, once again, check out Crime Circus channel. The kid's pretty good at the effects, the whole thing. And he's a good investigator. I want to thank him for showing this video, and I imagine it'll be all over the internet tonight. God bless you all, and I will be back later. And I need to take a break. Ooh, 2 hours. Oh, God. So, and also, I want to keep this in mind, folks. I don't know why they didn't take his phone or the girl's phone and have them repeat and talk into it. And then they would have been able to match it completely. They would have had two recordings recorded from the same microphone, same diaphragm, same everything. Then they would have been able to compare better, right? And I was hoping that's what we would have seen was the girl's phone sitting on the table as Jerry Holman was investigating them. It would have been nice to see him hit record on the girl's phone and let Richard talk. And how would I have done? I would have told him, "Oh, this is my phone. I'm going to record our conversation for court and whatever, or legal reasons, so we know exactly. It's a tape recorder, so I can go back and look at my notes of what we said." And I would have had him talk. That would have been a perfect match then, because we would have had the same exact microphone with the same phone, and it probably would have been better to do. But I don't know if that time they were able to do that. No, you're right, Deb. We don't have to see the photos to see the evidence and hear the evidence in court. But these people, the jury and the people in the court, had to look at these photos Now, whether they're considering, I mean, they've called me a sicko because I wanted to see the crime scene photos. I've never seen them. I mean, we've seen them on YouTube, but they were all mosaic. They were like paintings or whatever, and they weren't real. They were renditions of the crime scene and the bodies. They weren't real crime scene photos. So we didn't see any of that on this channel. But there was people that did have. There was YouTubers that did have the real photos and did look at it. And them were stolen photos. So there should have been charges of obstruction of justice, but we let that slide. We the people, right? But could they have been charged with obstruction of justice and tampering with evidence and possession of stolen evidence in an ongoing case? Yes, they could have been. But all right, I'm gonna end this video. Let's see what Debbie Fox is. But it's likely they're hiding something from all of us, but not letting any of us see the evidence. Well, it's all gonna come out, Debbie. It'll all come out here pretty soon. And there's more video that will probably be released here of him talking to his wife on the phone. There'll be more video and audio probably being released short, as it's released. So we'll be back here again. I have seen dead people before. I wanted all these witnesses they have. Yeah, well, they said they had witnesses that seen him with a gun, but I looked at the paperwork and everything, and there's no witnesses saying they seen a gun. They're describing other people. All right, I'm going to get off this thing. I am out of cigarettes. I got to go get a smoke. And I will be back later, and I got chores to do around here. And we got rain coming and cold temps. Possibly snow, they're saying here again. You folks be safe. God bless, and I'll talk to you later.